Hey, welcome to my journey. Today's video is what we always do on Thursday, weigh-in video. Remember last week I told you I wasn't going to throw any numbers out there as long as I had my legs wrapped up. If I gained weight, like I did last week, I gained, which I didn't tell you how much, but I told you I would say I either gained or I lost. I think if I show a gain, it's not fair to me to say, here's my number, when that number is not correct. It is 100% not correct because of all this stuff that's on my legs. Now, we just got over Christmas, and I told you, I am not sure what damage I did because I did some enjoying of myself. I'm not going to lie about it. I enjoyed Christmas. Not to the extent I used to. Oh my goodness, not to the extent I used to. Y'all know this is my favorite Halloween cup. It stays out year round from now on. But until I got on the scales this morning, because y'all know how many weeks back I quit weighing myself every day. That has been like the biggest monkey off my back, to not be a slave to that scale every day, wanting to know, did you go up? Did you go down? Did you stay the same? What happened? What happened? What happened? It has been so freeing just to know that I'm going to get on there at my normally scheduled time, Thursday morning, and that's that. So what I do this week, even after Christmas, eating of the sweets and too many things, I lost. I had a good loss too, I'll tell you. So I was very pleased with that. Now, I could give you a number because if I show a loss, then I didn't gain, but it would have been more of a loss because of the weight of this stuff on my legs. So that's not fair to me either. I'm not getting to take credit for the whole loss. Well, it would have been the same from... It's the same amount of weight that's on my legs. So from last week to this week, that amount of loss is the same, but the number, the actual weight is not correct. I guess that's a good way to put it. But anyway, I had a loss even after everything I did over Christmas. So I'm very happy with that. Now, speaking of Christmas, I forgot to tell y'all. So when RJ was little, now, he was my firstborn. He was going to be my only born because he liked to kill me in childbirth. I thought it was over. He was big and he oh my gosh. And I was never going to have any more children. I just was not. Get divorced, fast forward, here's David, here's Holly. Boom. Couldn't imagine life without her. So things work out the way they're supposed to work out. You might have other ideals in your head, but they work out the way they're supposed to work out. Anyway, so he was my world. I mean, that little boy, he was attached to my hip. He was attached to my hip. So growing up, I was, I let him be a little boy, but I was protective over certain things. And one thing was, I would not let him eat Dots candy. You know, the multicolored dots that are on a strip of paper. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Because they would hide drugs, specifically LSD, in those dots. And so I was always afraid if somebody tried to slip something over on him, he wouldn't know the difference. Oh, that's candy. So if you just tell him to stay away from it completely, then you don't have any chance of getting anything snuck in on you. So he was not allowed to eat Dots candy. And it's been brought up over the years, you know, about the Dots candy. So this Christmas, I was at the Dollar Tree doing my shopping, and I seen some of them dots. I'm like, oh yeah. So I got him some. Well, he was sitting there unwrapping, and it was a little small gift, and I had my stuff bought up so early, I didn't remember half of what it was. So I had it wrapped really good. He kept unwrapping and unwrapping. I'm like, looking at it. And then I'm like, hold up, I remember. He opened. I wish I had the sense enough when I realized what it was to turn my video on, because when he got that open and he seen those dots, he held them dots up, and then RJ's boisterous laugh, which I don't know where he gets that from. I don't know where he gets that from. He's like, am I finally old enough to eat these? Oh, he's 36. Oh my gosh, we were dying laughing. And then he's like, you know what? He sat there, he let it sink in a little bit. He goes, I just don't know how I feel about this. I still don't think I can eat them. He said, it's been so ingrained. I don't know how I feel about this. It was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. So yeah, listen, that little life lesson as a child has stuck with him all the way through adulthood. But I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, I forgot to tell y'all that. Also, let me get a drink of coffee, because I'm gonna tell y'all, I was a little ticked off. I did not mean that to be a play on words, but it was. TikTok. TikTok betrayed me. So, anybody raise your hand if they know what is my kryptonite. What is the one thing, well, there's others, but what's the one main thing I cannot have in my house? Name it. Go ahead. Little Debbie cakes. Okay, so last year on TikTok, it went viral, this Little Debbie Christmas tree dip. I looked everywhere. Apparently the whole world saw the TikToks and bought up all the Christmas tree cakes. Not the chocolate ones, the white ones. Wanted to make that dip so bad. Never could find it. Never could make the dip. Fast forward to this Christmas. I'm going to get me some of them trees. Well, as soon as the cakes come out, when I was in Food Line, nothing left but chocolate and like the cherry cordials and the gingerbread men. Not a single white Christmas tree was left. I ordered some, tried to order some from Walmart. They weren't even on the app. Well, I went to Rose's, and I wasn't even going to go to Rose's that day. I went in there to do something, and as soon as you walk in the door, there was a cardboard Little Debbie display. Boxes of white Little Debbie cakes. I grabbed up 2 boxes because I'm like, you know what? That didn't look like it made much dip. I'm going to double it. Each batch of dip took 1 box of cakes, and there's 5 cakes in a box. Waited until our Christmas party to make that dip. Made it the day of because I didn't want the cakes to get mushy. I wasn't sure. It was Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes. You smush them up. You supposed to put everything in the food processor. But since I doubled it, when I got everything out there, I was like, this ain't going to fit in my food processor. Hindsight, I should have backed up, but I kept going with it. Smushed up Little Debbie cakes, cream cheese, Cool Whip, vanilla, a little bit of milk. Honey, that didn't even taste like there was a Little Debbie tree cake even walked past that bowl. Somebody might have stood over that bowl and waved a little tree over top of it to get some of that. Not even that. I was so disappointed. It just tasted like just a cream cheese dip. Just a sweet cream cheese dip. Had no, to me, and nobody else, because I asked, I polled. Did you eat that dip? Did it taste like a Little Debbie cake? Everybody said nope. So TikTok betrayed me. But was not going to have it until I tried that dip. And I tried that dip. And now I know I don't have to try it again. And I don't have to go on the mad hunt for the Little Debbie cakes. Unless I just want to eat me one, So, yeah. That's what had happened on Christmas. Now let me tell you this. I went to the doctor. This is Thursday. Oh, I had to go today. Listen, I have been busy for the past 3 days. Y'all know I told y'all, was it yesterday? Hold on just a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Yesterday I told you. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Listen, I get my days confused. So no, it was Tuesday. Yes, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. I'm like, but something caused me to run late yesterday. It was yesterday. Oh my gosh. It was yesterday. Okay. Anyway, what does it matter? What it matters. Okay. So we got Holly a new washing machine because the well water had ruined the one that was down there. So they were going to deliver it yesterday. Well, David was like, find out if Holly will go sit down there and wait on it. They're supposed to call me the night before, let me know the time frame. So, of course, she said she would. Well, let's see. There was so much that went on around the getting of this washing machine. He was leaving to work that night, and he was running late. And he's like, that Tuesday night, he's like, what about Holly? I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that. Find out if she can do it or not. Well, she's not one, especially with a baby running around, who will answer you immediately when you text her or Facebook Messenger her. Whatever it is you do, if you call her on the phone, she'll pick it up. But if you message her just for any little thing, she's not going to get right back to you unless she happens to be sitting on the phone. She's busy. So he leaves at 8:30-ish, right? So I'm like, Holly, are you still going to be able to go down there tomorrow? They said between 7:30 and 11:30. And I told David, I'm like, that's awful early to have Jacob up and out and being cold and everything, right? And he goes, well, I can see if maybe I can get out of Atlanta early, or maybe I can hold them off, or tell them to put me to the last delivery or something like that. I'm like, well, I'll just go do it. He's like, well, we'll see what we can do. And then by the time he could get out the door, she messaged me back, and she's like, yes, she can. So before he got out the door, I'm like, hold up. We didn't give her the key. Okay, so he leaves the key. She's going to have to come over here to get the key to be back down there. So you're going to have to make a big round circle to get back down there by 7:30. And it's a good 20-25 minutes from here. So I told her she'd come get the key. She said fine. Then she's like, he goes on to work. And she's like, well, would you watch Jacob? I said, yeah, absolutely. So I said, I'll even feed him his breakfast. She says, cool. Well, did we have any more discussion that night? Yes. It was a little while later. I was like, well, I got a doctor's appointment at 8:30, and it's out of town. So I told her, I said, I can't watch Jacob. I got a doctor's appointment. She's like, that's fine. That's cool. Turns out they said Nathan can work from home that day. He'll watch him. Okay, good. Well, that was settled. Everybody went to bed. 3 o'clock in the morning. And the one morning I was not up at 3 o'clock, my phone rings. Now, a truck driver's wife, when she gets that phone call in the middle of the night when he's on the road, and the caller ID says his company's name, the first thing you thought was, oh my God, what has happened? That's the only reason they would be calling me. Otherwise, if they need him, they call him on his cell phone. So the boy, I said, hello. He's like, he trying to reach David. Who is this? I said, this his wife. I'm like, okay. He said, well, he said he's broke down. He said, well, he's got an air leak. He said, and I called to get his number, and this is the number they gave me. I said, no, this is his home phone number, so let me give you his cell phone number. Second time they've done that. Now, Central Dispatch knows his cell phone number because it's the only way they contact him. When he calls to give them dolly numbers or trailer numbers, or I'm going to be late, or I'm in traffic, or I'm blah, 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 pick a thing, that's how they call back and forth on his cell phone. So why would they give the shop his home phone number? To get me all worked up just at looking at the phone. As soon as I talked to the man, I knew everything was fine, but it got me worked up as soon as I rolled over and looked at it. And then, of course, it's 3 o'clock. The one morning I wasn't up at 3 o'clock. So I was actually able to go back to sleep, and I was up at 4. That was sleeping in for me. That was a good morning. All right. Well, I'm over there, and I had got my bath early because putting on them space boots, I'll tell you, it is a chore. So I just went ahead and got myself ready early for the doctor's office. I mean, early. I was sitting up there in the kitchen filming my menu plan. Well, across the phone, it said Holly was calling. So I'm like, oh, she must going to be telling me that she's here or something. Because whenever I film, I mute my phone so the noises don't come through because they'll be loud and they'll scare you. I've had it happen until I realized, get a clue and mute your phone. So I answered it, and she goes, well, I'm on my way to you. She goes, and my check engine light come on, and it started sputtering. I'm like, where are you? And she's not too far, but she said she's close enough. She's going to try to make it. I'm like, well, do you need to park it at the QT? She said, well, if I can get there, I'd feel safer for it sitting in your yard. And I'm like, okay. So that was 7 o'clock in the morning. She gets here, and we have to go. Okay. Her and Nathan, they pet sit, and so they were dog sitting, and it's people they know that they do it for a lot. And when they do, they just stay at their house, and that way they don't have to crate the dogs. The dogs can stay out. They're there to feed them and take them out and all this and that. And so that's where they had been that night. Well, she was in Nathan's car, not hers. She said they didn't want to switch the car seat over. It was already in his car. So that's why they took that one. So she gets here. We're going to have to go back to their house to get her car, right? Well, we're halfway to her house, and Nathan calls her. He says, babe, you got your keys? And she's like, wait a minute. Turns out he had his keys, and her keys were at the dog sitting house. So we were going to get to their house, and she wasn't going to have any keys. He said he just happened to think, just crossed his mind, wondered, does she have her keys? Where we were, turning right on the road, as soon as you turn right, there's a U-turn area they had built into the road when they redid these roads. She's like, go right and make that U-turn. So we made the U-turn. We weren't too very far away from where their dog's sitting. So we had to go over there. I said, call him and tell him to meet you outside. I said, because if Jacob sees you, it's going to be on. I said, I got a doctor's appointment. And we said, we're running all over creation, right? She gets the keys. We head on back to her house. I'm like, okay, so how far am I from the doctor? Got to the doctor with 10 minutes to spare. So I was driving for an hour and a half yesterday morning. She gets down yonder, and she'd have to wait hardly any time at all before they brought that washing machine. So what was the moral of this story? I don't even know if was there a moral to the story, or was I just telling y'all the activities of the day? I think maybe that's what it was. So that's what had happened yesterday. Because I think, because I was going to tell you, I had been to the doctor's every day. So Tuesday, I go twice a week to get my legs wrapped. And for these 2 holiday weeks, I have to go Tuesday and Thursday. And starting, no, next week will still be Tuesday and Thursday. The week after that, I'll go back to my regularly scheduled Monday and Thursday. You'd be surprised how much that one extra day of waiting till Tuesday, they slouch down even that much more. So I got my legs wrapped Tuesday, did all that, went to the doctor, my regular primary care, for my regular follow-up. Excuse me. Yesterday, and then back today to get my legs wrapped again. Well, when I was in there yesterday, she said, do you care if we do labs? She's so nice. I'm like, do I have a choice? If you need to draw labs, we'll draw labs. And I don't like having my blood drawn because I'm a very hard stick. I mean, a very hard stick. I take it from my mama. And I have teeny tiny veins. I know I told, I don't know who it was. It was Jarvis or somebody else that was taking my blood. I said, you'd think somebody as big as me would have bigger veins. She goes, that is not how it works. I have little tiny veins. They have to use the baby butterfly on me. And they don't pop up. They don't come out and say, here I am, I'm ready. None of that. So where she is now, she is sharing the office with an OBGYN. And they're working on her new office on the back side of the building while she's sharing this one. So you have to go across and let their people draw your blood. Well, she'll be in her new part after the first of the year. So next time I go see her, I'll be over there. Anyway, and she'll have her own lab and stuff, is what I'm saying. So I go over there, and the 2 girls was in there. One is obviously been there, and one she's just getting her feet wet. And well, where do you normally take it? I said, normally out of my hand. I said, but I'm a hard stick. I have small veins. I said, I just know they take a baby butterfly. She says, yes, ma'am. Well, she starts doing all this rolling and touching and carrying on. She goes, ooh, she put that thing on so she changed to this one. She rolled it, and she goes, let's try it on your arm. Y'all know I can't stand it up there, but to let them get the blood, I was just going to let them do it. She touching everywhere. This went on forever. The one other little girl, she's like, I say, you don't want none of this, do you? She goes, I do not. And so she is, the seasoned one is still, she's trying. She said, I can't get a vein. She told that other little girl, she said, call Dracula. I say, no. I don't want nothing to do with no Dracula. No. She said that's what they call, when they have a hard stick and they can't get it, they call Dracula. Said she used to work in the OR. So, a little bit later, here comes Dracula. She sit down. She's like, feeling around. She goes, yeah. She said, they don't want to pop up for nothing, do they? So she got out one of them little hand warmers that you snap and it heats up. And she put that on my hand and kept it on there for a little bit. And that helped it pop up enough to where she could actually feel on it. And she told the girl, she said, now you stand there and you have them vials ready in case I need you to pop it on for me. Because if we get this going, we want to get it. So they did. So if you are ever, I don't advocate telling somebody their job, but if they ever have trouble, maybe they got those little hand warmers they could put on you. And normally if I know I'm going to have my blood drawn, I drink water because that helps your blood. It just does. Well, I didn't know I was going to be given blood, so I didn't drink my water. I had just had coffee, and I'd been in the car for an hour and a half. So anyway, These days, it's almost instantaneous. You give blood, any kind of test, you almost have instantaneous results. At least you do where I do all my doctoring. So, only thing she wanted to check was my kidneys, my potassium, my A1C. We were curious about the A1C because y'all know with the gastric bypass, he says that cures your diabetes, and they don't know why. So he took me off my diabetes medicine as soon as I saw him my first week after surgery. He said, let's just don't take that anymore. I'm like, okay. I checked my blood at home for I don't know how many weeks, then it kept being fine, so I just finally quit checking my blood sugar. I'm like, why bother? It's not changing. So I quit doing that. Out of curiosity, I said, let's do. I said, having been off the medicine for, 2 months now, I would be curious to see, where's my A1C? Well, you will be happy to know that I'm not in the diabetes range. I am not even in the pre-diabetes range. I am normal as normal can be for the first time in years. So I was so thrilled with that. That was a good lab report. And now my potassium was low, so, and I take potassium. She doesn't prescribe that, but apparently it's not enough. I don't know. But she wants me to come back in another 2 to 4 weeks. I'll make it 4. 2 weeks is a little bit too soon to have to give blood again. So I'll go back to see her in 4 weeks to get my potassium rechecked. And then also good news, my kidney function is better. So that is major news, because my kidneys don't always do good. They're not always in the best of health. So that is a good thing. I've got to remember to keep drinking my water because get them kidneys flushed. I was listening to the radio. Listen, we got this station, and the show is called Two Guys Named Chris, and both the DJs, disc jockey, are they called DJs? Radio? I don't know what they are. DJs? I don't know. The host of the show, they're both named Chris. Well, they have another guy on there with them now, but back in the day, they had a girl on there with them, and oh my gosh, they're hilarious. But boy, they can get it right. Let me tell you, we also have one called John Boy and Billy. I don't like them, but I like two guys. So Biggie, he's their extra sidekick they've had on there for a number of years now. And they pick on him talking about he should have been a doctor. He'd be running for Senate now, you know. And he said he don't think you should drink too much water because it overworks your kidneys and flushes too much. It makes them work too hard. So, I don't know about all that. But I know you should drink your water. As far as the nutrition standpoint and the weight loss and all this and that, they say the fluids where I go to my weight loss, my weight center, whatever it's called, your fluids is your fluids is your fluids. So this coffee that I'm drinking now counts towards my fluids of the day. But anyway, I was real happy about my my cholesterol. She said my cholesterol was real good. So I'm doing something right. I'll tell you that. It can't just be losing weight. I mean, I got to be eating right too, right? Listen, like a toddler, I got to be doing something right. Now, these past 2 weeks, I'm not so sure. They've been a little bit iffy, a little bit dicey. But considering I had a loss on the scales, I didn't think that was too bad. And good labs. Listen, but let me tell you that's what I was going to tell you. When they was drawing my blood, when she was putting the little tourniquet thing, you know, the little stretchy rubber bands that they put on your skin. I just don't know about all this. It is just where this aisle used to be tight, it was not tight as in svelte. Tight as in full of fat. It's stretching my skin. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Now it is just floppy and flabby. There's still fat in there. I'm obviously have not arrived. Oh, let me tell you about this shirt too. Let me tell you about that shirt. And when I don't want to show it to you because I don't like it. Even so much as down here when she squeezed it right here, just a blob of skin just went. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like losing weight. I like feeling smaller. I didn't say I feel small. I feel smaller. But I don't like that flabby skin. Anybody out there? Y'all, I know y'all don't have to be putting it in the comments. Oh, get me. I got the flabby skin. But if you want to email me and tell me that you lost a whole bunch of weight like I'm losing a whole bunch of weight, if it like ever pops back, does it ever spring back? Ever? I mean, I don't know. I just don't like it. It is flabby on this part of my arms, this part of my arm, my stomach, which my stomach is, I'm going to have a big flap of skin just because you can't have a stomach as big, losing the weight out of it. None of this, that you can have all the fat in it, your skin stretched so far that you don't have saggy skin. I know that. I know I'm not going to pop back to be a 20-year-old. But I don't know. It's just in my leg skin. I'm trying to figure out. Even the doctor says something about the way my legs are built. Because I have big legs and my thighs, my whole upper leg, all above my knee, I have really big legs. And so even the surgeon says something about the way my legs are built. It would be, he'd use the word difficult, but a little, trying to do the knee replacement. This is my fear. And I don't want to speak it into existence. And I don't want to jinx it by talking about it. But it scares me knowing that even though they're flabby, they still have a long ways to go. There's a lot of fat to lose out of them. If I get down to the weight that the hospital wants me to be at to get the surgery, are they going to look at my legs and say, well, your legs are still too big and we can't do it? Is that going to happen? Is that a thing? Because that's what scares me. It worries me. I think about it often, more often than I should. It kind of preys on my mind because I'm like, if I was to go in there, haven't had gone through weight loss surgery, haven't had lost all the weight I'm supposed to lose, and he to look at my legs and say, I can't do it, I would lose it right there in that office. They would have to send me somewhere, medicate me, because I tell you what, I'm getting myself depressed. I was going to tell you about this shirt. So, this is my new shirt. It's on my haul. Chat and haul will be coming up one day next week. Because tomorrow, we'll talk about that in a minute too. But I thought this shirt said 3X. Because I read the numbers on it. It said 26, 28. And I wear a 28 now. Which, y'all, 4 years ago, I started in a 34. You heard me. Yes, you did. So it's taken a long time, but I'll tell you, I'm getting there. So I just read 26, 28, but I thought it said 3X. And y'all, I used to be in 5Xs and 4Xs. So when I got home and started looking at the shirt, and a matter of fact, now I done filmed this, so I could be remembering correctly or incorrectly. I may have noticed it when I was filming. Seems like I had that eureka moment. Oh, that's a 2. That's not a 3. So I did not know if it was going to fit or not. I just went ahead and washed it. I thought if it don't fit, it'll hang in the closet till it does. And so I washed it. I hung it. This is that knit, and I don't normally dry knits because they shrink. Being a new shirt, I wanted to at least wear it one time before it shrunk up too small. Even if I had to wait till later on in the year to wear it, I wanted to at least be able to wear it. Well, I tried it on yesterday, I guess it was, and it fits. It's not even tight. I mean, look at this. See, it fits perfect. So I wore it to the doctor today with my blue skirt that I wear with every blasted thing. It's either that flatty dress that I wore yesterday, or it's my blue skirt with some kind of top. Every day if I go out in public. Because I can't get the pants over the stuff on my legs. And it is aggravating. And I keep going to the thrift stores, trying to find the clothes. And listen, if I had thought about it while I was in Walmart yesterday, I would have looked at their clothes and see what they had in their plus size department. But I did not think about it. But I keep going to the thrift stores to look for the clothes. And you know, when I'm in there, I'm going to look at other stuff. That's how I end up with more stuff than what I go in for. Sometimes I go in specifically for crap. But here lately I've been going in for clothes. So anyway, this is a 2X. Yes. So I don't know if you should go by the X's or the numbers. I don't care. It's a 2X. That's all I know. That's right. I won't even care when I lose my weight. I would not care to stay a 1X the rest of my life because of where I have been for so many years. A 1X to me might as well be a size 2. You know what I'm saying? The size of my clothes don't bother me. Just like, and we're going to talk about this next week. I was thinking about that after I made my video. That's what I was going to tell you. Tomorrow's video is our challenge video. And when you hear the name of our challenge, as soon as you read the thumbnail, you're going to be like, she is dumb. I mean, it came to me and I went with it. So the name of our challenge is dumb, but it's a challenge nonetheless. We're going to motivate each other. And I thought about this one. I should have talked about it more in that video, but I didn't, and we will get into it. We don't do our personal motivation like we used to. I used to talk heavily about personal motivation, about loving who we are and being fine with who we are, those kind of things. Those are the things that I think if we can work on those, then we might be more apt to stick to our diet, to our healthy habits. A good healthy habit is being cool with who you are. And we've talked about that on a number of occasions, that I think the reason I stayed overweight for as long as I did, because I was fine with who I was. You didn't like me? Whoop-de-doo. You don't like me now? Whoop-de-doo. That's your problem. That ain't my problem. I was fine with who I was. And so I think being okay with who I was physically kept me from trying to get healthy. And I think losing weight, there's things that get healthier just by losing weight. But then there are healthy habits that whether you lose weight or not, they're good to have healthy habits. So I think we're going to talk not just about our little eating right and drinking our water and tracking our food and exercising. We're going to talk about this up here too, and this in here too, because that's part of it. I think if I had maybe looked at it differently, that you can love yourself, who you are, but still get healthy at the same time, I would have done it sooner. But I had it just the opposite. Well, I'm fine. I'm fine like I am. I don't. I'm cool with. If you don't like to look at me, don't look at me. I'm fine. You know. And it wasn't until I was not able to do physical activities like I was able to before, that it started bothering me, that it started getting to me, because it wasn't my looks, it wasn't my size, it just wasn't. And so I don't know. I think we just need to work on. I didn't have a problem with who I was, but I think if I had, I don't, what I'm trying to say here, I feel like I'm talking in a circle. I'm not making any sense. I think I could have been fine with who I was and recognized the fact that I needed to get healthy. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to work on liking who we are. And I tell y'all, I still wish I could remember who told me. If you're still watching, you'll remember. We were talking one day, it's 2 years, been 2 years at least, about if you want to wear stripes, wear stripes. If you want to wear big ass polka dots, wear big ass polka dots. I don't care. Somebody was like, I was always told big girls didn't wear stripes, so I've just never wore stripes. I'm like, put your tiara on your head and strut down that street in your stripedy clothes and your polka dotted clothes and your bright hot. That color just came to me without me even thinking about it until I said it out loud. With your hot pink shirt. I told you about that article I read in the paper a long time ago. A long time ago, back when we still got newspapers. Y'all remember them days? Newspaper days. I was reading an article about drag queens, and he did fashion and stuff with other women and makeup, that type of thing. And he's like, his quote was, the way he saw it was, if you can't hide it, decorate it. If you want to decorate it, then decorate it. It is still the holiday season. Even though my tree's down, some people still got decorations up. I do still have my lights on the front of the house just because I like the way it looks. But anyway, I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. So join me tomorrow for our challenge. I told you there's nothing to it. It's just a form of, let's get together, let's have one singular mindset as a group that we're going to slay the new year. And it's you shouldn't have to wait till the new year to start doing something, but it's a good time to do it because it's just new year, refreshing, getting a whole new mindset going, and we're going to do that together. So tune in tomorrow for our challenge kickoff, and that is all I know today. I don't think I got nothing else to tell you. We jacked enough, so I'll see you tomorrow. No, I'm going to see you right now. Who sent me these? Let me know. I got a box yesterday. Amazon, the post office, I should say, delivered my Amazon box to the wrong house. So RJ's French fry cutter and my Christmas tree plug-in that said was delivered in my mailbox. And I know where it went, the same place it goes. Every time they send my mail wrong, it goes to a whole different 1212. And they deliver their mail by 11 o'clock in the morning, and that's what happened. So anyway, there was an Amazon box on my front porch. I'm like, well, that's what it is. And I told David, I'm like, if there's a French fry cutter in there, they've sent the wrong thing. But there's 3 bottles of this. It is Simply Health ACV Keto Gummies. That's apple cider vinegar. So somebody anonymously sent me these from Amazon. So if you send these to me, give me an email. Send me an email and let me know. And let me know how you use them. Let me know. Just let me know. Okay. Now we'll see you tomorrow.